Hello everyone. Welcome back to another Leetcode explanation. Today we are tackling a hard problem called set intersection size at least 2. Don't let the hard tag scare you though. We're going to break this down step by step, using a logical greedy approach that makes it much more manageable. Let's get started. First, let's understand what the problem is asking us to do. We are given a list of intervals. Each interval has a start point and an end point. Our goal is to create a new set of numbers. Let's call it our containing set. There's one big rule. This containing set must share at least 2 numbers with every single interval in our input list. We want to find the smallest possible size for this containing set. So basically, pick the fewest numbers possible so that every interval covers at least 2 of them. Let's clarify that at least 2 rule. If we have an interval, say from 1 to 3, our chosen set needs to have 2 numbers that are between 1 and 3, inclusive. If we have another interval from 5 to 10, our set also needs 2 numbers between 5 and 10. The trick is, we can reuse numbers. If a number works for multiple intervals, that's great, because it helps us keep the total size of our set small. Let's walk through an example to see this in action. Suppose our input intervals are 1 to 3, 3 to 7, and 8 to 9. First, look at the interval 1 to 3. We need 2 numbers here. To maximize the chance they overlap with future intervals, it usually makes sense to pick numbers near the end. Let's pick 2 and 3. Next, we look at 3 to 7. Our set already has the number 3. That's one intersection, but we need 2, so we need to pick one more number between 3 and 7. Let's pick 7. Now our set is 2, 3, 7. Finally, look at 8 to 9. Our current set of 2, 3, 7 has 0 overlap with 8 to 9. So we're forced to pick 2 new numbers, 8 and 9. The final size is 5. Just a quick heads up. We'll be walking through the solution using Python, because it's quite readable. But don't worry if that's not your main language. I'll be showing the full code for other popular languages like Java, C++, and JavaScript towards the end of the video. The editorial suggests a greedy approach. The intuition is simpler if we think about needing an intersection of size 1, but we can extend it to size 2. Here's the plan. We sort the points. Then, we take the last interval. Which points should we pick? Since every other interval starts before or at the same time as this one, choosing the start points of this last interval gives us the best chance of hitting those earlier intervals too. It's strictly better to choose the start points, so we will repeatedly take the start points and see how many previous intervals we satisfy. There's a very important edge case we need to handle, involving intervals inside other intervals. For example, imagine we have the interval 2 to 3 and 2 to 4. If we satisfy the smaller one 2 to 3, we automatically satisfy the larger one 2 to 4. But the reverse isn't true. To handle this succinctly, we sort our intervals primarily by their start time in ascending order. But, if 2 intervals have the same start time, we sort them by their end time in descending order. This ensures that the larger interval comes first, and the smaller, more restrictive interval is processed later, or in our backwards approach, processed first. Okay, we've talked about the big picture and the sorting logic. Now let's see what this looks like as actual code. I'll put the full solution up on the screen first. And don't worry, after that, we'll walk through the most important sections together. Alright, here's the Python code for the first approach. We sort the intervals, create a to-do list to track how many numbers we still need for each interval, and then work backwards. Don't worry if it looks a bit dense with the loops. We're going to break down exactly what's happening in the next slides. First, the setup. We sort the intervals list. Notice the key lambda function. It sorts by x0, which is the start time, and then by negative x1. This negative sign is a Python trick to sort the end times in descending order, largest to smallest, when the start times are equal. Then, we create a list called todo. Since every interval needs to intersect with at least 2 numbers, we fill this list with 2s initially. Now for the main loop. We use a variable t to point to the current interval we are processing, starting from the very last one and moving backwards to 0. For the interval at index t, we check our to-do list to see how many numbers, let's call this amount m, are still needed. If m is 0, we do nothing. But if m is 1 or 2, we pick that many numbers starting from the start of the interval, which is s. So we might pick s, or s and s, plus 1. This inner part is crucial. When we decide to add a number p to our set, we need to check if this number helps satisfy any other intervals. We loop through all intervals, I up to our current one. We ask 2 things. First, does interval I still need numbers? And second, is our new number p inside interval I? Note that since we sorted by start time and are looking at previous intervals, We know p is greater than or equal to their start times. We just need to check if p is less than or equal to their end times. If both are true, we decrease the count into do for that interval. You might have noticed we have a loop inside a loop here. We iterate through the intervals backwards, which is linear, but for every point we add, we scan through all the previous intervals to update their to-do status. This gives us a quadratic time complexity, or big O of n squared. For an input size of 3000, as stated in the problem constraints, this is perfectly acceptable and will pass. So to summarize the performance, the time complexity is big O of n squared because of the nested iteration. The space complexity is big O of n, because we need to store the to-do count for each interval in a separate list. This is efficient enough for the given limits. Alright, that covers the main solution in Python. As promised, for those of you who code in other languages, I'm about to show the full solutions for Java, C++, and JavaScript. I won't be breaking these down, so just pause the video on your language of choice to check it out. Alright, as promised, here is the full solution in Java. This matches the logic we just discussed exactly. You can pause the video here to take a closer look at the implementation. Next up, here is the C++ version of the solution. It uses a lambda for the sort function to handle the specific ordering we need. Again, feel free to pause and review the code. And finally, here is the solution in JavaScript. Hopefully seeing it in a few different languages helps solidify the concepts. So let's wrap it up. The big takeaway here is the power of sorting. By organizing our intervals by start time and then end time, we were able to use a greedy strategy effectively. Working backwards allowed us to pick the start points of the later intervals, which naturally flow backwards to cover the earlier intervals. And finally, using a simple array to track how many numbers each interval still needs kept our logic clean and correct. Alright, before we finish up, I want to quickly show you a personal project I built to solve a problem that always drove me crazy. It's an app called My Daily To-Do. My biggest frustration with every other to-do app was retyping the same things every single day. Go to the gym, review code, work on the daily Leetcode problem. You know the drill, so I built my app around one simple but powerful idea: separating your routine tasks from your one-off tasks. Routine tasks, marked with the little refresh icon, automatically reset for the next day. One-off tasks, like ship new feature, get the little puff of smoke icon, and they disappear for good once you're done. This small change turns a dumb checklist into a smart scheduler. If that sounds useful, you can try it right now on the web. The link is in the description. And one more thing I want to make super clear. Right now, as a thank you for being an early supporter, the app is 100% free. There are no ads and no subscriptions whatsoever. This means you get access to everything, including really powerful features like presets, which let you save entire task lists and load them with a single tap. Now down the road, creating new presets will likely become part of a premium plan to help support the channel. But, and this is the important part, any presets you create now, while it's all free, are yours to keep and use forever. So it's the perfect time to check it out on the web, play with all the features, and build out your perfect setup at no cost. If you enjoyed this problem and want to keep practicing, the learning doesn't have to stop here. I've organized all my video solutions into handy playlists. Whether you're looking to grind through more Leetcode easy, medium, or hard problems, or you want to master a specific topic like sliding window or dynamic programming, I've got a playlist for you. It's the perfect way to focus your study sessions. Go to the playlist tab and find a playlist that fits your goals. Also, if you're looking for even more Leetcode problems beyond the daily challenge, I've started a second channel called Leetcode Unlocked. It's where I'll be posting solutions to a ton of other problems, so if you're serious about your interview prep, be sure to check it out. The link is in the description below. Hope this Leetcode solution breakdown made sense. If it helped, give that like button a click, maybe subscribe for more, or drop a comment if you have questions. Make sure to turn on the notification bell so you know straight away when I upload a video, because I upload videos daily. If you want to support the channel, a few people have asked how I plan my solutions. I'm a big fan of sketching out the logic and data structures on a tablet before I code. It really helps. I've put affiliate links in the description to the tablet I use and a few other good options. Using those links doesn't cost you anything extra but really helps me out. Or, if you're feeling generous, there's always the Boba Fund. Keep coding, and I'll catch you in the next one.